First off, we have one of the busiest and best actors. He is an Oscar nominee for Chicago, and his film and theater credits are simply too extensive to pick a favorite, but they include roles as varied as Far From Heaven and True West to Step Brothers and Talladega Nights. Please welcome John C. Reilly. Oh, no, wait. You have to go back out. I have an introduction for you. All right, well, he's here too. He's one of the best actors working today. He's a man who entertained and terrified us so much in *Inglourious Basterds* that he won every major award, including the Oscar. Other films, of course, include *Three Musketeers*, *Water for Elephants*, *The Green Hornet*, Christoph, Waltz. An actor who doesn't want to make his grand entrance.
We couldn't hear anything back there. We were talking, and suddenly someone said, "Go!" So we just started going.
This is a very well-insulated building, actually,
Yeah.
except I could hear the audience laughing hysterically in the hallway. Thank you both so much for being here tonight. Congratulations on another great film to add to your resumes. I guess I want to start at the beginning with Carnage. How were you first approached for these roles, and were you familiar with the play God of Carnage, on which it's based?
Yes, I was very familiar with it. They approached me a couple times about doing the play, first in London and then in New York, but I couldn't, it didn't work out. I couldn't do it, and it seems like it worked out pretty well for me. I had to do the movie. But I was a big fan of the play. I thought it was a great piece of writing, and then I just got a call out of the blue. I was literally having one of those actors' days where you think like, oh, that's it. They figured it out. That's all. You're done now. And then the phone rang and someone said, would you like to go to Paris for 8 weeks to work with Roman Polanski? And after I picked up the phone again from the floor, my agent actually made me wait 24 hours to say yes.
What?
I was like, just say yes, just say yes. She's like, no, you have to act like you read the script and you thought about it. Like, I was like, no. So anyway, how about you, Christoph?
I was running across a cow pad to meet Roman. Literally, because I happened to have been in Switzerland by chance. And
Someone from Switzerland here?
well, sounds like it. And yeah, and so I just had an hour and a half with him, and he cooked lunch.
Oh, what'd you have?
Well, he didn't have that much at home, and it was and the housekeeper was gone. It was a Sunday. That's how it happened.
And didn't you say that the day that you met Roman Polanski was like one of the few days that the paparazzi had left him alone?
Well, it was one of the first days that the paparazzi had left him alone. He was still in his house in Stadt, and he said, "Do you want to see my Swiss watch?"
Oh. And he hadn't opened the blinds in like weeks?
Not 7 months. He hadn't opened the blinds.
Wow.
And he said to me, "This is the first day I've opened the blinds in 7 months. Come here," he said. He showed me the fence around his property. So it's about from here to the wall. And he said they were standing there, shoulder to shoulder, sometimes in 2 rows behind each other, and with the occasional helicopter flying in. And they caught one single shot of him sort of peeking through the blinds in 7 months.
Wow.
But that day was nice weather.
Did you take any pictures together while you were there?
Yeah, we did.
And I believe you were very familiar with the play. Didn't you see it in like its original incarnation?
Well, I wasn't really that familiar with the play. I've seen it before. And I'd, one of these, sometimes you have these experiences sitting in the theater and saying, well, I would like to play that part. And I, like envy creeping up my back a little bit. Then I forgot about it.
When you heard they were making a film version of it, though, did you instantly reach out to? I don't know who you reach out to when
No,
you
it
see
really. I mean, the story with the cowpad. I mean, is really true. It just happened to. They said, well, we should. It would be nice to meet, but he's in Switzerland, and I just happened to have been in Switzerland as well.
Wow.
And that's how it happened. So it was less aimed at me. It was sort of the chance.
What, you think you only got the part because you were in the country?
I'm just saying that.
And the production that you saw, wasn't it like the first production they'd done?
It was the first production ever done. So, against general belief in this country that Broadway was original production, that was about like 5 or 6 years after the original production. And oddly, the original production was in German, in Switzerland, in Zurich.
And John, when you had been approached about doing the play, was it always the role of Michael, or did you ever look at the role of Alan?
It was for Penelope the first time. This is insane. I can't do this. No, I think it was for Michael both times, yeah. The director of that production, the London and New York production, was my friend Matthew Warchus, who directed me in True West. So I was really hoping to get back together with him, but it just didn't work out on that one.
But Roman Polanski, not too shabby.
Not too shabby.
He's such a brilliant director, and I feel like we actually know so very little about his process. Can you sort of tell me, I believe he had you guys rehearse for 2 weeks before you ever shot any film.
Yeah, I don't know that that's an indication of his process, but I think it was a process necessary for this piece because it's so seamless. It's a real-time story, and the flow, the back and forth is so constant that it would have been very hard to do it in chunks, learning just a chunk at a time. So yeah, we rehearsed for 2 weeks. In the first week, we mostly talked about it and talked about the translation and talked about the intentions of the characters. And then the second week, we started to get on our feet and rehearse. And then suddenly on one day, it was a Friday, he said, we had just been kind of reading through it and holding our scripts, and he said, so on Monday, you'll have the whole thing memorized, and we'll start running it as a piece. And all of us were like, shit. We developed lazy habits as a film actor, but it was essential for the piece, I think, because we moved through when we filmed it, then we moved through it very, very slowly. So in order to keep the correct pace and dynamics throughout the piece, I think it was really good to have a full recollection of the whole arc. Yeah.
And how did you enjoy working with Roman Polanski?
Well, the first 2 weeks were like theater. And the run-through was once you got over the initial shock, it was actually immensely helpful. And one day we even did 2 run-throughs, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. And he didn't do that just to torture us, partly, but I thought it was the most valuable experience for then, going millimeter by millimeter, fraction of an inch,
We know what millimeters are, Christoph.
Sorry. And to as John said, to know where it's going and what for. And he said, at times we got insecure and said, yeah, is it sort of checking like good doggy whether the owner is coming, sort of going ahead and checking whether he's all right. And he said, don't interrupt. I only interrupt when I have an idea. Go on.
Then occasionally, even when we're filming, like on a Friday night, he would say, let's stop midday today and use the second half of the day to run through what we do from here on, so that on Monday when you come in, you have a fresh sense of where we're going again. It was demanding, but it was good. It would have been hard to pull off every day going, right, where am I at? How many scotches have I had?
And the film was shot chronologically?
Yeah, it was.
Have you ever done that before? Was that an interesting experiment?
I have. I've shot chronologically before, but never a story that was in real time like this. I've shot movies that take place over the course of a day, but this was a special challenge. I mean, it's a good thing it wasn't really sunny in Paris when we were there, because any change in our skin tone would have been like, what happened? His nose got sunburned in 30 seconds.
we rarely saw the light of day, so
That's
you know.
true.
Now, obviously, there's 4 characters in this film, and so this film really relies on the chemistry of the cast. And you guys have great chemistry, not only with your respective wives, but with each other. Do you think that was a result of the rehearsal process, or was it kind of instantaneous when you met? And had you met before?
We arranged to meet
We
beforehand.
arranged to
We
meet.
went and had lunch. We had a pastrami sandwich together. Art's Deli. Anyone? Yeah. Great place.
I was very impressed, yes.
It wasn't a date. I wasn't, you know.
Sorry.
Well, it was kind of a date.
I
It was a
liked
mandate.
it.
Yeah, so it was pretty. I mean, we really hit it off right away. I think Roman very carefully chose people not only for being right for the character, but being right for the project and the demands of the project. I think he deliberately picked people that would be able to just do the work without a lot of diva-like behavior, and I found the 4 of us a really supportive, loving quartet, and the chemistry it happened pretty quick. I know I was feeling like that first day in that room. I sat down. I was like, Jodie Foster, Kate Winslet, Christoph Waltz, Roman Polanski. What am I doing here? Like, maybe that's low self-esteem, but that's honestly what I was thinking. And it just took me even like an hour to just stop thinking that and concentrate on the work. But I think on a certain level, because none of us really knew each other, and I think on a certain level, all of us were feeling that a little bit like, why did he pick me? Why, you know, like, or maybe it was just me. Did you feel like?
Yeah, sorry, it was just you.
I want to talk about the actual making of the film, because so many people ask me, is this a real apartment? Is it a set? And also the set design and the production design, everything is so specific. I'm wondering if you can speak to that.
When you opened the fridge, there was food in it for a family of 4 for about 3 days until they go shopping again.
And not French food, like American yogurt and American milk, and there was 110 power in the apartment, which is it's 220 in Europe, but in that apartment was 110.
Which at one point became difficult because the blow dryer didn't work and we needed to get another one, but there was not another one with an American plug.
Yeah.
So they had to convert one.
Oh, wow.
You could have kidnapped somebody and closed the blinds or the curtains in that apartment and blindfolded them, brought them in and took it off, and they would have thought they were in someone's apartment, because down to the tiniest detail.
So it was a set.
Yeah, it was a set. Oh yeah, it was shot 20 minutes outside of Paris, and everything you see outside was green screen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Including the playground was just on the grass in this shabby little parking lot outside, and there was an enormous green screen like as big as 2 of these walls that they put the Brooklyn Bridge on in the river.
It's amazing.
I thought everyone knew that. What did you think? We had him like in hiding in Brooklyn?
And except for 2 boys, all the kids were little French kids. If that helps with the disillusion. Sorry.
I think we thought it was a real apartment because I would like to live there. Frankly, it was very nice.
It really created sort of a Groundhog Day-like situation psychologically, though, for us. The reality in there was so complete. It was like, it just felt like we're shooting the same scene for 6 weeks. You know, like, when is this? When are we going to be done with this scene? It's like an actor's anxiety dream. You know, like.